Hello and welcome to PlayStation Racer. My name is Mitchell Morgan, and having finished the World Circuit races, we're now going online, and this is a video of my best online daily race yet. This is daily race B. We're at Spa and I am starting in 3rd place. This isn't a race win before you get excited, but there is a nice battle that goes on. And well, just lots and lots of stuff going on around us and behind us, and all in all, this has been a few days of just being punted off, bashed, crashed into, and just having issues. And as you can see, as we go down into the first corner, there is a car behind me, tries to go up the inside, but we close him off, managed to hold that place, and we managed for once to hold 3rd place through the first corner as we head down to Eau Rouge. Very often I was getting punted into that first corner, and I've had to adjust my approach to that quite significantly. We've got a Porsche going off there already in the background. You can see some cars are weaving around, and you'll also notice the blue Porsche with the purple bonnet. We have an awesome race with that car, but as we go into this corner with 3 wide, I back out of that and just come back onto the track. There's a car that's gone off. The 2 cars in front of us are barging each other and having a right old argument, so I just stayed a little bit back and stayed out of their way. Everybody else making their way through, but you can see here I'm in a right old gaggle of cars. We get into the car behind us. It was my corner. He didn't like it. We had a little bit of bashing going on. The white BMW right in front of us pushes off the Porsche, then the BMW gets it all wrong. So you can see everything is kicking off in front of us, behind us, and all I'm trying to do in this race is not necessarily win it. I just wanted to recover my SR rating and try and have a clean race. But you can see with everything that's been going on, that blue and purple Porsche, the King AR car, is right up behind us now. There's a Porsche going off again in the background, and it is this Porsche King AR that we have a right battle with all the way through this race. Nice and clean. I did get a clean race bonus at the end of this, which is almost unheard of in the daily races. I don't think I've ever got a clean race bonus before. I think this was the very first time that I ever got a clean race bonus. So we recorded it, and I just wanted to share this one with you. So at this stage we get a little bit of air. I'm very conscious of the Porsche 911 behind. At this stage I think he's settled in and just watching to see where I'm slow, where I'm quick. He gets a big slide on the exit there, which has unsettled a couple of cars behind, and that's just given me a very small window in which I can just sort of settle down and just gather my thoughts. The Porsche lost a place under braking into the first corner, but quickly recovers that. Looks like everybody else is pretty much settled down, and the field is stringing itself out at the moment. So we're in 7th place at the moment, so I think we've dropped back a few places, but I was quite happy to do that. I just wanted to try and get a top 6 place and keep it clean. That was my main motivation. All the time behind me I can see that there's a battle going on between the Porsche and the grey car. That went on for quite a while before the Porsche actually managed to get that move done. I'm not quite sure what happened with Kuzi 98. I don't know whether they had a tangle or something happened, but you'll notice in a probably a lap or so that the Porsche gets right on my back bumper, and then we have that battle. For the moment I've got about a 3 or 4 second gap to the cars in front, and around about a second margin to the cars behind. So I've got a bit of clean air in which I am just running my own race and just trying to make sure that we don't get any penalties. So I was being overly cautious through Eau Rouge, and I was also being overly cautious on the this little section that we're coming into now, which I very often would find myself out on the green stuff and then into the gravel. These are not my best corners, and all I wanted to do was just keep it honest and even. So it looks like everything has settled down a little bit at the moment. At this point I was making some headway on the cars in front. I think they were down to about 2.5 seconds at this point, very roughly. And the 3 cars up ahead were bunching up. And I think that with them battling amongst each other, that did enable us to close up. You saw there, just as they went through the chicane, how bunched up they have become. Not very much between them at all. And I just had my fingers crossed that they would continue to battle and slow each other down as they were defending. You'll see now that King AR has got past Kuzi, who's dropped a couple of places, so I think that there must have been an issue there. And then as soon as King AR got into some clean air, he just reined, or she just reined me in just about every corner. They were mighty down the Camel Straight, really quick, and I really struggled to both keep the clean race that I was trying to run without getting any track limit penalties or spinning or anything like that, but also to try and keep the cars behind. You've also got Maxis, the M98 Maxis car behind. He joins this battle too, so we end up with a 3-way battle at this point in the race. I'm very much minded. I've got one eye on the mirror. I like to run with the bonnet cam normally, but I'm running with the dials because I need that long mirror at the top, even though I normally run with the radar. But it was very much a case of just keeping my lines more than anything else. I didn't do too much defending. I made the decision that if I could keep my lines and drive my lines, then it was up to the Porsche to find a way past. And I felt that that would probably happen during the big long drag down the Camel Straight. But you'll notice that he's reined me in. He's right there now, right on my back bumper. Brilliant driving and braking by him, because I am braking a little bit early into a lot of these corners because I'm wanting to keep it clean. I'm not really throwing it around, and he doesn't once, I don't think he hits me at all. Very good driving from that car. I was well impressed, and it made for a really great race, because at this stage I'm having to soak up an awful lot of pressure from behind, continue to drive my line, continue to just keep it pointing in the right direction. And you can see behind we've still got cars that are going off. You can still see that cars are having problems, but not the level of punting and crashing that were going on in some of my other races. This video is a snapshot of a wider range of races that I did on this evening, and some of them were really dirty races. At one point in one of the races there is a 3-car crash where one of them just tries to take the other 2 out down the Camel Straight. Really ugly racing, and thankfully in this one we didn't have too much of that. My Supra's got a few marks on it, so we've been in the wars a little bit occasionally, but you can see that this Porsche is just sitting there sizing me up, waiting. I was actually quite surprised that he didn't make a bold move sooner and then get into the battle for the 2nd and 3rd places. I think that he could have probably have had maybe a 3rd or a 2nd if he'd managed to get by me. But all fairness to him, he played a really good run. I'm saying him, of course it could be a her. I apologise if that is the case. But the pressure that Porsche was exerting on me right now was immense. I thought any moment he's going to push me into a small error, and then they were just going to be by me and then just run away. So at this stage we're still closing in ever so slightly on the white BMW ahead of us. Not quickly enough, but we were just reeling him in ever so slightly. My lap times was a 1:33, 1:23, 1:24, so 23s, 24s were about right for me in race conditions, especially when I'm trying to keep it clean. Strangely, although I felt as if I was driving slower and I wasn't on the ragged edge all the time and looking for every tenth, the racing seemed to be smoother, more controlled, and just a lot more enjoyable. So we come up to the line to start the all-important last race. We are in 4th place. There's potentially a podium place in front of us. You can see how close it is now with the top runners. But I was minded that rather than getting a podium place, I wanted to keep it clean. I wanted to improve my SR rating. And at this point, the Porsche's had enough. The Porsche is really pushing on now. We're on the last lap. He knows where he's quicker than me. He knows where I'm slow and takes full advantage of that, pushing all the way down the Camel Straight. Right there. He knows where I'm going to brake. Unfortunately, I think I broke a little early on that occasion and he caught the back of me. I think that was me catching him out more than anything else. I hold no problem, no issue at all with that move. They gave me the place back. The overtake was then done, which was always going to happen. I always knew that would happen. And then I got Maxis behind and I didn't really want to drop back too much further. So I'm now in the sandwich for 5th and 6th. And I think my issue at the end of the Camel Straight is I really didn't want to throw it off the track. I broke a little earlier than I did normally, and that was what caught King AR out. But I think he's rightly in his place where he should be now. I think that 5th place really was his all along, and he did get round. We've a little error which has let Maxis through at the moment, which was a bit of a shame. That's dropped us back to 6th. I would have liked to have kept 5th, but again, as I've said, I wanted to make sure that this was a clean race. It was more about getting a 6th position than bringing this home in a higher place. The 6th was fine, but I just wanted to make sure that it was clean. But again, here, I really enjoyed this section because we're chasing down this car in front and just not running into the back. Didn't quite manage to close him down at the end. Right on the back bumper. We've got the big accident behind. Looks like the King AR had an unfortunate off there. I don't know whether there was a touch, but the Mercedes AMG came through. Cream also in the mix there. But that was my best and favourite race of all. We didn't win it. There was a little bit of an issue, but we did get a clean race bonus for this particular race, which was really welcome, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So thank you very much for joining me for this race. I really appreciate you supporting my channel. If you would care to hit the like button, that will help me no end. If you're new around here, please hit the subscribe button. In the meantime, I will see you on another video very soon, or maybe even a live stream. I'm live streaming Monday to Friday around about 10 o'clock in the evening most days. I'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.